Welcome to the Land Cave, where we're living as nerds. I'm Patrick, joined by Owen.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm trying to think, and then I lost.
just like that. We're here talking about gaming, video games, nerd news, all kind. That's what you come here for that comedy timing.
I just went through a 2.5 hour interview to end my day today. So right before dinner, I was literally I was in an interview process from 3:30 until 6 o'clock, and so
that's exhausting.
it was lengthy. So let's it definitely wasn't boring like the God of War trailer was, but it was dude, I don't know, like it's awesome that we finally got the reveal, but
I didn't get the new one.
A PlayStation blog post with a 30-second clip, like not even like a cool like cinematic trailer to announce the release date. It was just this 30 seconds. I mean, I guess they're just trying not to reveal. Like at this point, they're like, "Are you not gonna buy God of War? No, of course you're gonna buy God of War, right? So here's your trailer. Have fun."
Ridiculous. Yeah, I didn't. I'll admit I didn't see the new one yet. I saw that it was announced, so I'm gonna download that real quick. But yeah, I agree with you. I think we're at the point now we've seen enough that, I mean, if you want to pick apart what we've already seen in the trailers, you can probably figure stuff out already. So
it's so short that they literally took a screenshot gallery and posted it in up below the trailer. So if you pull up that PlayStation blog post, there's the video of the trailer, and then there is a gallery right below it of 10 pictures, and that's like all the scenes from the trailer.
Just being like, we gotta add something here. So this is the new trailer in its entirety.
The shield's cool.
I like the shield. That's what I was gonna say. I like the shield. That's cool. That's a cool like collapsible mechanic. And there you go. And we're done.
Yeah, it was just like, all right. I mean, my guess is that we get a state of play soon, but that's not the part that I'm really actually like too upset about, because again, they know what they're doing. They know that everybody's been bugging Cory Barlog, who runs Sony Santa Monica, for those who don't know, or is like one of the big creative heads. Everybody's been bugging him on Twitter. He's very tired of it. And so they were like, fine, here's a PlayStation blog post. But the part that really sucks, that is annoying, I don't know if you looked at these special editions, did you?
I have not, no.
Okay, so launch edition, standard fare. You got your PS4 edition, PS5 edition. PS5 is, of course, $70. And the PS4 version is, of course, $60. But here's the worst part. If you want a steelbook, not only is there not a steelbook edition like they did with Horizon, it is wrapped up in this collector's edition. Cool shrine, cool replica of Thor's hammer. That's all well and good until you read the part on the steelbook display case that says no game disc included. And in small print, God of War Ragnarok's Collector's Edition includes a voucher code for the full God of War Ragnarok game on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 consoles. Why would I want a steelbook that has no disc?
Yeah, that's really odd. I got the image of it, but yeah, I'm confused. I'm confused as well. Why I've seen special editions, though. I'll be honest. I've seen special editions that did not include the game at all, like not even a digital code. So, I mean, I'm not saying this is good, but it's better. That's what I thought you were going to say. Was it just doesn't even have the game? So that's the special edition of the steel. I mean, okay, yeah, it does look good, but
my guess is the reason why is it's because they are accounting for people who have a digital only PS5, which is fine. But in that case, make an edition for those people that doesn't include the steelbook. It's literally just the fact that there's a steelbook involved. That's the part that's upsetting to me.
Make one without a steelbook. Make one without a steelbook and make one with a steelbook, same price.
I really hope that doesn't become the norm. Or again, I just don't understand why they didn't do what they did with Horizon. Horizon had a dope. Sorry, I keep checking on my kid's video camera. Horizon had a dope collector's edition, had the awesome statue and everything, but then there was just the $80 version, which was just the game, and then you were basically paying $10 more for a steelbook case, which I happily did because I am addicted to steelbooks. But I'm not going to go buy this whatever price it is, and they don't have a price on it yet. It says that the sale will go live here on July 15th. So
steelbook hammer 149, Bob. That's my guess. I don't think they're. I mean, it's a steelbook. It's a large
and a
replica
Knowledge
hammer.
Keeper shrine.
Yeah, it's got the shrine. I'm going to say 149. It's probably more than that, but that I would look at and say, okay, if you're a big God of War fan, that's a good deal. I couldn't see this. First I thought like 129, but with the shrine looks like it may be like cheap cardboard, and I don't know what that hammer's made out of, but
no, there's too many things in here. You see, like, there's a ring, there's a dice set, and then there's an even larger edition that has a vinyl record. That's pretty dope. No lie. Cool. Like for those who are vinyl collectors, like that's pretty fun. But it's literally just give me a steelbook edition. I'm hoping that Best Buy bails me out here, and that they get access to something that's like Best Buy exclusive as they do, because I'm not going to be getting my Forspoken steelbook anytime soon.
No,
I'm so sad. I'm really bummed. I'm like the only person in the world bummed about this. It feels like, because like just so many of my other friends that talk about games, they were just kind of meh on Forspoken, but I thought it looked dope from the beginning.
I'm for it. I'm at the point now. Well, actually, I'm probably going to be ready for it by the time it comes out. With all the delays and all my backlog that I've been going through, I thought, okay, well, everything getting delayed is not terrible, but I think I'm going to change my tune around October or so. I'm going to be feeling like, man, there's a big lull in anything good. So January 24th, rough. They're pushing it out, but I'm glad at least it's not going to compete with Ragnarok. Not that I'm saying the same player base would be going after it, but similar to, say, Elden Ring and Horizon.
They were 2 months apart. Like Forspoken was supposed to come out September.
Oh, that's right. Okay, for some reason I thought it was November.
It was supposed to come out in the beginning of September, and so September was going to be like, or October. It was either the beginning of September or the beginning of October. Now I can't remember now that they've changed it.
I feel like it was October because I'm feeling like they were really close together.
I know it wasn't November, though. Yeah, I know it wasn't November.
Okay. I guess that's why I was thinking that was I thought they were really close together, and it made me think of that where if they're coming out too close, that God of War is going to win out because it's God of War, because
October 11th.
October 11th, okay. So less than a month. I think that you're not going to, it's not like it was going to kill all the sales or anything, not like Horizon and Elden Ring, but hopefully, I mean, I don't know what else.
The only other thing here is just like, so this is 6 months away. Why put another exact date on it? Like this is now the second time that it was supposed to come out. So Forspoken was originally supposed to come out, and they put an actual date on it every time. It's supposed to come out May 24th, 2022, October 11th, 2022, and now January 24th, 2023. Why not just say
January?
Like, just give yourself, even just say like first quarter, Q1.
Yeah.
Or something. Give yourself the cushion, and that way when your date actually comes, it feels legitimate.
Yeah.
But because to me, I'm just wondering now, I mean, it is good to know like all the elements are complete and it's all about polishing. I want to see I want to believe very much in this game. A lot of people don't think that this studio is going to be handling it because a lot of people don't like Final Fantasy 15, whereas I think Final Fantasy 15 was a solid first game for a studio, and for a brand new studio, I think it was a great game, but it was a good game otherwise. I think this game has the chance to be great. It looks great. It looks tons of fun to me, but now I gotta wait. And obviously, first and foremost, we want the game to be good, as polished and less crunch and whatever. There's definitely going to be crunch on this game, but now my fall is looking a whole lot lighter. Pre God of War, no Starfield. I did see a really dope Valkyrie Elysium trailer, and that comes out at the end of September. And if you didn't know, have you ever played Valkyrie Profile?
No, I haven't.
So Valkyrie Profile, originally a PlayStation game, then they put it on PSP as Valkyrie Lilith, and they are re-releasing Valkyrie Lilith on PS4, PS5 the same day that Elysium comes out. And if you buy like the digital whatever edition, you get that PSP re-release as
That's
well.
cool.
But you can also buy it standalone. So if you had any interest in ever checking that out, but the second trailer for that looks pretty dope. So far that's all I got. Like, I'm not buying Pokemon this year as far as I know, unless it just comes out and somehow blows me away. Like,
Yeah,
August and
skipping it.
September are now dead.
Yeah, I'm skipping it.
Keep on that backlog action.
Yeah, I'm still playing Arkham. I've beaten the main story where it's like you can activate Nightfall Protocol, and no spoilers here, obviously. It's like 8 years old or 7 years old at this point, but
Arkham Asylum or Night?
No, Night. Sorry, isn't it 7 years old?
Okay, I was like, Asylum's way older than that.
No, yeah, Asylum's way older. So Arkham Knight, I'm basically cleaning up Riddler trophies, and I'm going to do the DLC. I already did the Mad Hatter, and I think what is it, Mr. Freeze is the next one. So I'm still kind of cleaning that up because it's something I can jump in and play a little bit, and also still every now and then jumping into Diablo Immortal, which apparently is making allegedly $1 million a day. Stop. Like, this is what was that?
Hand over fist.
Yeah. That's true. This is what irritates me though, is like, it's not a bad game, but don't give them money because this is terribly predatory. It's the whole game is designed around that, give us some cash, and then either getting a whale or preying on someone who wants that little bump here and there. There's leaderboard stuff that pops up constantly, and you it's the FOMO of like, oh, these other people are getting such cool gear and they're doing these raids, and it's fine, but the paywall is insane. So I've not given them a cent, but I probably should stop playing, because just me logging in probably, if we all stopped paying, then they'd go, oh, shoot, this isn't working. But people are still out there throwing money around.
I mean, I've heard that from most everybody that you can beat the story and comfortably without ever paying a cent.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that there's, I think the thing is, if people don't want the predatory stuff, don't give them any money. I mean, if they're not pelting you with ads or anything and they're giving you this much free content, you might as well take it. You might as well take advantage of it. But
there's no ads,
you
but
hit that in game, you're like,
there's no ads, but it does pop up like every day when you log in. It's like, hey, you got a daily reward, and you're like, ooh, I want to claim my daily reward, and then it's like, here's all the stuff you could buy. So the fact that you're getting into that store every single time to claim your reward, it's right there. And I will say part of this is generational. I feel old saying this, but like talking to my nephew and some other kids, like that, they don't understand why we wouldn't view like 15, 20, $50 throwing at the game. They don't see that as a bad thing at all, because they've grown up with that as a practice. So where
they play free to play. What they don't understand is like freemium games where you have to pay $60, $70 up front, and then you're like, I'm only getting 8 hours of content. What kind of crap is this?
Well, they want the, but this is why, in the same conversation we were talking about, like, these types of games, and then my nephew asking, like, do you think they're working on Grand Theft Auto 6, which they did announce that they are working on that. But my answer was, they're probably this is before they announced it. I was like, they're probably working on it, but they're making so much money off of 5 that it's not as big of a priority. People are still throwing money at that game. And I don't know, it bothers me when I'm all about supporting, developers and everything, but when your metrics are geared around the terrible systems of, I think someone was working out there were numbers around 150 to $400,000 is what you'd have to spend, depending on how the odds work in your favor. And that's a lot more than like, ooh, I spent 150 or $200 on Candy Crush or whatever. Like that's a lot of money. So who knows how many people are actually going to do it? But
I think that there's still room for both, but it definitely has changed the gaming landscape for years. I mean, Fortnite free, you don't have to pay them anything, and a lot of people feel like whenever they buy the battle pass, which apparently is pretty decent on Fortnite in terms of skins, and it's like $10, and they're like giving them like $10, and they're playing the game 50, 100 hours a week, or not a week, a month, or whatever. Like,
sure,
that $10 is good value for them, and I feel like that they're getting at least something in return.
Yeah.
I don't know about Apex Legends being the best or anything, but it's a similar situation where like you can play Apex completely for free, and then you want to battle pass it up and unlock more characters for your content. Like that makes sense. And then you try and explain to somebody who's younger, like paying $70 for God of War, and God of War is only how long? It's only 15 hours, and you're gonna pay $70 for that? Crazy old man.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, at the same time, I was looking at video games like the same as, you know, going to the movies. If nowadays you're paying like $15 per person to go see a movie. So if the game is 8 hours long and it's good, that's 4 movies. That's, you know, it kind of works out that way. But I guess now we're at 70, and I mean, that's not even getting into the inflation. Someone was talking about, you know, games used to be $60 in the 90s, and they're $60 now, $70, and adjusted for inflation, that's like $120. So the games could cost a lot more. Speaking of that, though,
what you can do is wait till the console is no longer on the market.
Yeah.
Mod your console with a brand new screen, buy a flash card, download the entire library's worth of ROMs, and beat Final Fantasy for the first time in your life. None of that was free. I paid like $60 for the screen. I paid like $30 for the flash card, $20 for the memory card. There was money put in, but I can now write off my bucket list my gaming bucket list that I beat the original Final Fantasy, and I did it with a guide, of course, because I'm sure there's plenty of people who would laugh at me because I played with a guide, but I didn't die the entire game. There was no deaths. I did a 0.
No cheats either?
No cheats. Only just the in-game thing of you can change the setting to toggle run whenever you're in town.
Okay.
But no cheats. Not even save states. I use the save built within the game, which in the Game Boy Advance version you can save anywhere, as opposed to the original version you can only save when you're on the overworld. But no deaths at all.
Nice.
It was
nice.
And I beat it in like 12 hours, which was also pretty crazy, but great game. I'm very surprised at how well it kind of holds up, you know, obviously with like some graphics updates and everything, but for a game that was made like the year I was born, or the year before I was born, actually, surprisingly holds up very well, and I'm glad to say that I beat Final Fantasy 1 finally, because the only other thing I've just been watching speedruns on SGDQ last week and really keeping my gaming kind of light. Took over my TV for a week. It's one of those events that my wife and I have been watching for years, to the point where she even asks about it every few months. She's like, so when's the next Game's Done Quick? And I'm like,
that's cool.
It's in July, and then anytime we're just chilling, she's like, is it still going? And it goes for 7 days, and it's literally the only thing we watch for a week.
That's
so
cool.
It's pretty nice.
That's cool. Like, this is... I've only checked out Games Done Quick a few times, and it's usually not when they're live. It's the archived, because I'll look and be like, oh, that's interesting, playing that game and seeing how quickly they'll beat them, which I know is the point. I may jump into this at some point. I think that I said years ago I want to play all the Zelda games, so that is probably a little bit higher on my list. Because I've never beaten the original Zelda, and I've heard many people say, years ago. Yeah, I heard many people say like you use a guide for it, because if you haven't done that back in the day, that it's not holding your hand
against the wall.
Yeah. So I'll use a guide.
There's like hidden doors and stuff, dude, where it's literally just like you wouldn't know. in terms of what you did originally as a kid is you would literally touch every tile on the wall and press A
Yeah.
until one of them went. So yeah, use a guide
Yeah.
for sure. So I went back and did that a few years ago. The ones I haven't beaten that I do want to go back to that I have downloaded on the cart now is the Oracles. I never beat Oracle
Okay.
of Ages or Seasons, which were the Capcom Zeldas.
Yeah. Were
Um,
those? I get them. Those aren't the same game though, right? They are distinct because I think
yeah,
I think there's
they're slightly different. I think it's like
okay.
from like not different perspectives because you're linking both, but
Yeah.
let's see. Versus
I may be
Season.
wrong, but for some reason, I think I used to think they were basically the same game, like a Pokemon Red Blue.
One focuses on puzzles and one focuses on action.
Okay, well that's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm all about.
So
the
I have
puzzles.
those on there to get to at some point. So I understand that. The other Final Fantasy, I've never beat 6 either, so I have
Same.
that on the cart, and so that might be somewhere I go next. Right now, I'm deciding if I'm dropping Tales of Arise or continuing on because I have some stuff on my Switch that's just calling my name.
What's not on my Switch yet, but it's about to be, is that KOTOR 2, because that's apparently fixed. I've heard some people say allegedly, but I haven't seen anyone hard report like no that it's not working. But maybe I missed it. But I think I'm going to jump in because this is a game that I never liked, and I think the reason that I may have not liked it was the unfinished parts that that they rushed and then literally broke storylines. So I'll probably jump back in. Um, it I've heard good things other than the fact that it crashed. I've heard good things about it. So I don't know if you heard the
I
same.
own it. I bought it already. I'm waiting for them to release the DLC that completes the game.
Okay.
Which is supposed to come, I think, later this year. So I have it downloaded and everything, but it's just going to be one of those wait and sees. I have Shredder's Revenge though that I have yet to play.
Yeah.
And is on there. And then there was a pretty massive sale going on over the 4th, and I've been using Deku deals a lot. And one of the other games that I've had been waiting to get is I think it's the Road 96 or the Road 94.
I don't know if I know that one.
It's an adventure game or not like total point and click, but the kind I like where it's that narrative based option stuff. And it was down to like $12, so I finally picked that up. So the way that it's looking right now is that Arise is probably about to get either completely dropped or put on hold until later. I was enjoying it, but then kind of stopped enjoying it. It just doesn't have me at the moment.
Well, I've not been. I mean, I'm enjoying my Arkham time and everything, but I did bump up to PlayStation Plus extra. By the way, finally did it.
In a couple weeks when Stray comes out.
Yep. I kept seeing games that I previously, because I had a PlayStation Now account until like 5 days prior to the changeover, and I had games on my console that I couldn't play, and there were a few of those that were just itching me too much that I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And Returnal is on there, which I was not on PlayStation Now. So now I can jump into Returnal finally and check that out. What was the other Pathfinder? There's a Pathfinder game on there that I've been wanting to check out, and just the fact that I couldn't bothered me. Yeah. What's up?
Have you ever checked out any of the Warhammer games?
I've only played one of them and I didn't like it.
I've just heard like such good things about there's like a space one or something like that on that, like where it's like they use like not necessarily the Warhammer rules, but like their like lore and stuff. And I've just heard like so many good things. I saw some of those were available, I think either on Extra or Game Pass, one of the two. But
Yeah, I played
I'm picking up
Vermintide.
extra as soon as Stray comes out. Yeah, Vermintide too. I heard was really good if you had a party.
Yeah, I may have to jump back into it. Warhammer's one of those. I've heard good things, and the people who like it just absolutely love it. And there's also apparently, when it comes to the book crowd and the, as you know, this can happen with anything, but there's apparently some really, um, let's just say not nice people who apparently love Warhammer for some reason. I don't know why they grab it, or I won't go into it here, but let's just say, Nazi level of terribleness that I'm like, I don't know if I even want to like read this or jump in, even though it hasn't. They're the bad guys in the game and in the stories, but
sure.
Yeah, it's weird stuff that you find on the internet. So yeah, I want to dive in. I'll have to look and see which games. I didn't like Vermin. I think I played the first Vermintide, and I didn't like it that much.
There's one coming out soon. It's called Dark Tide, and I think it's like a Warhammer space game or whatever. I just keep seeing. It's crazy whenever you just think of like blind spots in your thing, and because there's like a lot of Warhammer games, like a ton of Warhammer video games, and I've never played a single one.
And the one that I played was very much trying to be like Doom, and it wasn't resonating with me. Maybe I need to give it another shot, but I felt like it was trying really hard to be Doom when it's like Warhammer can be its own thing too. And the new Doom games were so good that it was kind of hard to, justify that. But yeah, it is a huge series of games. That's how I feel about like the Ys games and others that I'm like, there's like 10 or 12 of those, and they're supposed to be good. So
that's another that's why I checked out Tales of Arise, and while I am like slightly impressed with it, it's just I don't know if it's enough for me. And I do have Ys 8 that I got for $10 at one point to check out that JRPG series, because I'm like, I'm such a JRPG fan, but really I play Final Fantasy. But I agree that PlayStation Plus is going to look good. I'm looking, I'm going to end up trying Demon Souls probably. I don't know when, and then Returnal's on the list, but I'm waiting 2 weeks because Stray comes out in 2 weeks, and my wife's interested in that game, and that means that's an insta play. Whenever the wife says that game looks fun, that means we download it. But instead of paying for it, PlayStation Plus Extra is what I'm doing. But since I know I'm literally not going to play any of those extra games until Stray comes out, I'm saving my, I don't know, $3 that is going to be the difference before it comes out.
Yeah, my upgrade was, I think it was like 54, because the other reason I was looking at it was like, $54 for the next year and a half or something. It was some obscene amount. I was like, okay, well, how many games would I have picked up even if they're on sale? If it was five games at $10 or 6 games just under $10, like that'll be worth it. And I think that with Returnal, and hopefully they'll be putting out some decent other games other than Stray. I didn't get to talk about it last week with you, but out of our Nintendo Direct, I'm really excited about Monkey Island. I don't know if you like those games, right? I can't remember if now.
Never played them.
Yeah, it's when you mentioned the adventure games, and you were like, oh, more narrative based, because this is going to be a new game and everything. But the first couple Monkey Island games are it's the quirky LucasArts aspect of like weird, like word puzzly kind of weird logic things. But I always thought they were cute and zany, and they're silly pirates. So apparently a lot of people haven't liked.
I'm a cute and zany guy.
Yeah, I mean, I like it
so much so that the creator said he's no longer going to talk about the game because
the art style.
People are jerks.
People are hating the art style. I didn't. It was definitely different, but I didn't hate it. I definitely like the original art style better, or the remaster remake things that they did relatively recently. I would say I like those better, but yeah, the internet's just a full of vitriol and people being
Imagine if Wind
irritating
Waker
me.
came out in 2022.
That's what I was thinking.
Because
Was
I remember I hated Wind Waker, how Wind Waker looked as a kid, and I know I'm not
same.
the only one. A lot of people changed their tune once they played the game,
Yeah.
and I didn't at first. Years later, I think it looks amazing because how well the cell shading works on a better graphics card. You know, whenever you have a thing that can run, which by the way ported to Switch, dadgummit, so I can play it on OLED. But think about that. Think about if Wind Waker was going to come out in 2022, the internet would lose their mind.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's good. And this game is probably going to be good. I'm going to be looking at it as its own thing because it's been so long since the creator was involved and everything that I just view it kind of like when the newer Tim Schafer stuff comes out. I'm like, that's awesome. Yeah. I'm not going to compare it to your stuff you did in the early 90s. It's been 25 years or whatever. I'm not going to judge you. And that's kind of how I feel about this. Been a long time
since Jack Black.
Yep. Are you thinking like Brutal Legend or?
Isn't Brutal Legend Tim Schafer?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That was kind of his return.
I wasn't that. I know that wasn't 90s, but
no, I was thinking like the old Tim Schafer, like Full Throttle and Maniac Mansion, and the older PC games, Grim Fandango. Yeah, that guy,
Day
and then Psychonauts. Yep, Day of the Tentacle and Psychonauts.
Didn't he work? Didn't Tim Schafer work on Monkey Island?
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah,
one of them at least.
At least, yeah, because I'm pretty sure he was. Yeah, he was involved in these. Yeah, he was involved in these because he was part of that LucasArts team. But I don't think he was as much of a lead in it. But he was involved.
He was a designer on it.
Okay.
So Ron Gilbert, Tim Schafer, and Dave Grossman. Man, those guys have been around forever.
Yeah, and
I don't think Dave Grossman's still making video games, but been around for a long time.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of that, I meant to put that in our show notes like the past couple weeks. But the husband wife that did the Sierra games, like the King's Quest games and stuff, they're coming out with a new game, which they haven't made a game in forever. And the fact that they were like, hey, let's do it again. I'm curious. I'm very curious. I
know they redid King's Quest in like 2015, 16, somewhere around there. They like redid it or something.
I don't think they were involved in it though. I don't think that because the husband and wife that did it, like she was like basically did the stories and art, and he was more of the computer science aspect of like programming it and everything. They had quality games, like everything coming out of Sierra before like the buyout. This is like 80s to like I think 91 or 92 I think may have been when they got bought out, but it was really quality stuff. And you're thinking about like a husband and wife
on like the original Diablo. I think
Diablo.
I think the first one they might have worked on.
I know that
like forever ago.
I think the expansion pack Hellfire. Maybe. I think they were involved with that. Yeah, because their studio was so big at that point. I think they Hellfire.
Or it could have been just
Sierra.
at the studio. Yeah, it could have been the studio. But
yeah, and I mean this is like I'm just thinking like I don't know what they're making, but they've got enough money and they probably have enough people who know their lineage that would come out of the woodwork and be like, yeah, I'll work on that project for you. Like, so I don't know what it is, but it could be disastrous, but thinking like, I don't know if it's been like almost 30 years since they came out with a game. And apparently the wife who came up with like all their stories and everything was like, I've got something I want to do. So I don't know what it's going to be.
Their quote says, if the game sinks, it ain't going to change our life at all.
Yeah,
So they're literally just like, we're retired, whatever. Let's just make something and throw a little money at it. Why
that's
not? You
when
only
you
live
got that
once.
much when you got that much money and you're just like, what am I gonna do? I guess I'll make a game. I don't know. Like, but I'm like, that is just so cool. But I love that quote. Did it say if it was the which one was it? I think the husband's name is Ken. I can't remember. Um, did it say who it
uh,
was or
which one of them said it?
yeah? I don't know. Just curious.
No. Oh wait.
No.
No, oh yeah, he was saying I think that, and then his wife was like, "No, it has to be good."
Okay, that makes sense because she was like, the Sierra games were like real quality, and she would like stop. Like she would be like, "No, we're not putting the game out in this condition." Like she's very serious about that. So I think
Colossal
that's.
Cave 3D adventure.
Were they involved in Colossal Cave?
Yeah, they're redoing it.
I had no idea.
Apparently,
Well,
originally it was a mod on her game, according to this.
I didn't know that.
Oh wait, well yeah, no, reimagining of a game that was originally introduced in 1975 by somebody else. Okay, so
Okay.
it's a VR game. That's dope. I wonder if they put it on something other than Oculus Quest. If they put it on PSVR too.
Put it on PSVR 2. I'm still waiting for PSVR 2 to get announced that yes, it's going to be backwards compatible. Because we're not going to hear anything announcement of Grand Theft Auto 4 or Red Dead Redemption remakes. Maybe it's just
which
me.
is a bummer, dude. 4 is the one that needs to be remade.
That's what I was going to say.
Released again.
Yeah, 4. I feel like 4 could be great if they did a remake. I thought it was the story was good. I never beat it because I just didn't like the gameplay, and I feel like they may be able to, I don't know, help that a little bit. But apparently, the release of the Grand Theft Auto trilogy made them feel like, all right, we're going to focus more on Grand Theft Auto 6 instead. I think there's a new map coming out for Grand Theft Auto as well, though, so that's probably part of it.
I think there's some GTA 5 DLC. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
It's never gonna happen, but
yeah,
sweet.
Yeah. By map I mean like multiplayer. Yeah, because they don't care about the single player. It's costs them too much money, and it doesn't make them enough money. So they're just gonna keep going into multiplayer. 6, I really hope. I mean, I know that they
I have
now
no reason.
have a.
I have no reason to doubt it'll be good.
Yeah, 6 is going to be good. I hope that they're not going to push too heavy into like look at how much it connects to the online element. Just give me that single player give me the single player experience and then a separate online like we did for 5. That's what I want. I'm afraid they're going to make it blend together where in order to play the single player game it'll be like, all right, now do an online mission that's a tutorial of how you do races online, and you have to do that before you get through. I just get annoyed by that kind of stuff. But yeah. I don't think Red Dead Redemption necessarily needed a remaster. I'd like to see an update. I don't feel like I guess Red Dead Redemption did come out on 360, didn't it? So
yes,
yeah. So I guess it is 2 generations old at this point. Because I was thinking,
I mean, you can currently play Red Dead Redemption via like back compat, and they've re-released it on PlayStation 4 and it's always like $8 and plays fine. From what I heard, it's just not remade. But like, I don't think you can play. Yeah. You can play GTA 4 on PC currently, I think, and I've heard if you, I don't know. I know that if you are playing it at a certain frame rate, it's unbeatable because of like some helicopter scene or something like that. It just doesn't work. From what I recall, like you can't beat the game if you're trying to play it at like 60 frames or something. Oh yeah, like
because the clock, the timing for like everything in the enemies is tied to the frame rate. So if you speed up the frame rate, you literally
you can't hit it.
Yeah,
and so it's funny.
I mean, at that point, I mean, I guess I get it if you're trying to do PC, but you've got to think if you're on PC, they've got to have a mod that fixes that at this point. I would hope, but that's the whole point of playing console games, is not having to think about that and just be. That's why I play so much console, and I think that's why you play so much many console games. Is if I'm playing a game, I just want to play the game, and I don't want to plan around. Let me research which mods to add to it. I just want to play the game. I want it to be good, and hopefully that's gonna be good. I don't know. Yeah, but
yeah, someday.
But anyways, light news week this week. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you think about that in the comments.
Backlog, kids.
Yeah. What do you plan in your backlog? You've got to have at least 200-300 games in your backlog you haven't touched. Let us know in your comments which one are you most embarrassed about, and we'll see you next time.